Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, they released the final trailer for Star Trek Discovery Season 5, and I had no interest in it when I watched it. I watched it last night, and I'm like, okay. Now, I did watch a couple of people's reviews today, because I felt like I've been here for the whole thing. I really should cover the end of it. But I don't have a lot of enthusiasm, because not even in a negative way, because like there's just not much more damage they can do to Star Trek with one more season of the show, and we already know where it's going. And I just feel like it's going to be over in May, and I just don't care so much. Whereas in the past, I cared more because it was like they were still, destroying Star Trek. I didn't know what they were going to do next, where it could go, how they could make it worse. Well, we know it's ending. It's already filmed. They went back. They did, a couple little reshoots, and it's over. So now this trailer, there's not a lot in it. I mean, it just shows that these people don't know what Star Trek is. They spend another season not exploring space. They've gone 5 seasons now doing a show called Star Trek in name only, where they actually don't explore space. So it's just another ongoing full season story where they're just chasing a MacGuffin. It's basically Indiana Jones in space with some knockoff Mad Max action, and that's all we're seeing so far. Now, there are some beautiful visuals. There's a couple of beautiful planets. There's an amazing looking giant library, but I'm not getting sucked in by these visuals and fooled into thinking this is going to resemble Star Trek on any level, with the exception of a few episodes at the end of season 4, where they were knocking off Star Trek the Motion Picture for a few episodes. None of this series, none of these 5 seasons of this show resemble Star Trek and have anything to do with Star Trek. And part of the reason why I also don't care is they did finally establish last season of Strange New Worlds that this is all in an alternative timeline that was changed back when someone was trying to stop the eugenics wars, well before Star Trek. So even though they're not acknowledging it's a different universe because of the copyright and everything, they are acknowledging that it is a different timeline, and it's basically a multiverse of timelines at this point. And the problem with multiverses is you don't care. You don't have to care because, okay, someone died. Oh, well, just go to another timeline. They'll be alive there. It takes away any of the jeopardy or any of the interest or anything. And it's just really, I'm trying hard to be motivated. I'm going to try and watch each episode so I can review it properly. But it's so much easier to just watch other people's reviews and just talk about what's wrong with this one. Now we see a puzzle box. We see a Cloud City, and people are saying, oh, they're ripping off Star Wars. I'm like, Star Trek did Cloud Cities first, you fools. Where do you think Star Wars got it from? Saru looks like he's wearing a different uniform, like maybe he's an ambassador and not like a member of the crew or a captain. And we do see a shot in what appears to be the mirror universe, in what appears to be the Star Trek Strange New Worlds Constitution sickbay. So are we going to see the Defiant? Like, why are we in a Constitution ship in the mirror universe? Are we going to go back in time? There's a couple little interesting things, but I'm sure they're going to go nowhere good. That's the problem with Star Trek Discovery. They just, even though there's always so much potential and so much hope, and it's easy to look at it and think and be optimistic and think maybe it's going to go somewhere Star Trek-like, but it never does. It always goes in the opposite direction, just screaming the opposite direction deliberately. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I don't have anything else to say about this. None of it's good, except for the visuals, but, it's just window dressing, on a big